$1,000 hookers. I'm Jackie.
Delay of game? Never heard of it. I'm Justin.
53 Tommy. Whizzle left. Rutabaga on 14! Then you snap it. I'm Sam, and this is Any Given Sunday on Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. This is part one of a two-parter. The first time we've actually ever done it this way. The only other... We've had a couple two-parters. I can't remember. Dreamcatcher's the one that sticks in my mind. But this time we have only watched half of the movie because this thing is fucking almost 3 hours long. Or no, like almost 4 hours long. And I ain't got time for that. So we watched half of it, and we're going to talk about the first half. It's called Any Given Sunday, and it's currently streaming on Netflix. Sam, go.
There are 3,000 cuts in this movie.
3,000 cuts! It's cutty!
3,000 cuts. It was intentional. It was planned.
Okay.
Apparently, I think the guy's name is Robert Richardson. I think he was filming... Bringing Out the Dead with Scorsese, and he usually shoots all these movies, but he couldn't do it, and Ollie was like, that's okay. This is going to be hell. I don't know if he even wanted Richardson to do it. He got Salvatore Totino. This is his first movie. He had only done music videos before, and Oliver Stone's like, that's going to be fine, because you're really going to play... That's going to play well into this, because these shots are not going to be long. There's not going to be any long takes. There's not going to be really super complicated rig setups, but there's going to be super complicated sports setups.
Okay.
On the day one of shooting, Salvatore Totino showed up, and Oliver Stone said, "Welcome to Vietnam."
Oh.
Salvatore Totino lost 18 pounds shooting this movie.
Oh my god! And like all the PTSD, right? I'm assuming he came back from
the shooting. Yeah, he did
with some baggage.
He did okay. I mean, it's odd that the sort of parallels drawn between this movie and Concussion. I'll talk about in a second here. But he shot Concussion.
When he got
No Way Home.
When he got done with this, and he landed on the plane, back in his hometown. When he came off the plane, did he get spit on by hippies?
I don't believe so.
Okay, all right. How has his medical benefits been since shooting this movie? I mean, I've heard that it could be a bit of a process, after because of the VA. Because you said it went to Vietnam. I mean, that fuck off, Oliver Stone. Vietnam, eat a dick, man. Those people actually.
Well, he was there.
No,
he was there.
Oliver Stone.
He knew how. Yeah.
Oliver Stone went to Vietnam.
Platoon is about him in Vietnam.
I thought it was about...
He was a photographer, I think, but...
Yeah, then it's not about him in Vietnam.
He was in Vietnam, so we can't discount that.
He took a trip to Vietnam one day, but I think he's pushing it.
I think he's got a lot of bars, okay?
All right.
So I'm not going to discount anything, and he's kind of an asshole. I mean... Yeah. It seems like people that like him, and that everybody that doesn't really like him that worked for him is like, I'm never working for that guy again. Oh, my God. Yeah. James Woods loves him.
There you go. Perfect fit. Perfect fit.
So when you're shooting a movie, intentionally to have 3,000 cuts, he had 4 editors. Editing simultaneously, and he's bouncing back and forth, making sure that the sequences are right. Apparently, the NFL almost participated in this and then didn't, and there was 8 months of delays due to the NFL not doing it. So they take some weird shots at the league, and then I didn't notice this, but in the half that we watched, there's a moment where she's trying to fuck with the mayor to get a new stadium. Mm-hmm. And he mentions the Dolphins, and it's oh, you're not getting a new stadium if the Dolphins are still in town, honey. Fuck off.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck off. If this is UFL, come on now.
Yeah.
Give me a break. But the movie never really commits to that.
Never really does.
Oh, it
doesn't commit to a number of things.
It's not a play off the NFL. They're not supposed to be in the NFL type level, or
No, because it takes place, as Sam just said, it takes place in the same universe as the NFL. So it can't be the NFL. It's the
but does it?
BFL.
It has to. It has to be the NFL.
Yeah.
Or at a competitive level against it. That line that is made to just wave a finger at the NFL for like wasting all their time just takes some of this movie out at the knees.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't work.
Well, there's some other things,
But it's one of a million things where it's like, I think he's going for this, but this other thing took that idea out at the knees.
Sure. Yep.
This is supposed to be the top level of competition. All of the media, all of the rich people, this is not Bon Jovi and an Arena League team. It's a whirlpool. It is a whirlpool. So in the writing process, this is a whirlpool. Like, he really just was like, I'm going to make the most hard movie to make ever and make it fucking harder. And then I'm going to put myself in it throughout the whole fucking thing. Cause he's the color man, Tug Kowalski.
Tug Kowalski. Man, did you see Tug Kowalski back in the 50s play for the Memphis Bulldogs? Man, he was a hell of a linebacker.
so wait, who was the director?
Oliver
Stone.
But he was in the movie?
Yeah, he's the play-by-play guy. He's not the play-by-play guy. He's the color guy in the booth for the...
He's the big fat one with the fuzzy hair?
Nope.
Black hair.
Yep.
He's got like Brax Just for Men happening.
He's the guy that looks like Oliver Stone.
I don't know who Oliver Stone is.
Okay, good. You're on a movie podcast. I'll just go ahead and remind you of that little tidbit.
In her defense, what have you done for us lately, Ollie?
What has Oliver Stone? He did something recently that, like, I gained respect back for him. Like, there was the Prometheus crap that was terrible, but recently it was
Prometheus wasn't him. That's fucking Ridley Scott.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
on
that's
a
Ridley
movie
Scott.
podcast, asshole.
Yeah,
You're on a
right.
movie
I'm
podcast.
On a movie What the fuck?
I'm the only person that pays attention to these directors. Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of Ridley Scott.
So the last thing that he did that I liked was W.
Okay.
I liked
it. That wasn't it. No.
And he hasn't done one since 2016. And
Snowden was his last big one. Yeah, no, it turns out I don't really like Oliver Stone. God, Platoon sure is a good movie, though.
Oh, it's Heaven and Earth, I think. That is a fucking great movie, too. His two Vietnam movies are fucking great.
Yeah, okay.
And he wrote Conan. That was fun. Kind of. I don't think Milius kind of took the comic book. I don't think it's his script that ends up being what we actually see in Conan, but
sure.
What's odd about this one is it's like there's something weird that he like loves the NFL, but then in the process of making this ends up hating the NFL. That gets muddled in the delivery of the film. Okay. And then he also sort of goes back to like the way he made Natural Born Killers, even though he did Nixon, which was very well received, and U-Turn, which I don't think anybody watched, In Between, which were more conventional filmmaking. U-Turn probably had a bunch of bullshit in it, and that's why nobody watched it. But Nixon wasn't this 3,000 cuts, fucking psychedelic smorgasbord of fucking sound effects. Because it's not like it was one of those where it's like, oh, we'll get it into post and we'll fix it. And we'll just over-edit it and it'll be psychedelic. No, this is all on fucking purpose. Like, every one of these fucking cuts is basically planned to have sound that makes it do this exact thing. There's juxtaposition constantly throughout the entire film that would work, but then there's this other thing that doesn't. This bag is so stuffed that the bottom shot out of it, and then it all bounced back into like a confetti cannon.
I don't know if it would have worked, Sam. I don't see.
I don't think it would have, but it's on purpose.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It's on purpose. I get that, but so is the Bay of Pigs, right? You know,
to further
JFK.
The muddling. Yeah. Okay, that was.
Yeah,
because he did JFK.
Because he directed JFK. See what I did there? It's called history. You guys should look it up.
Yep.
I am on a film podcast.
Nice. I don't think there's. I don't think there's as many fucks in this one as JFK.
No.
There is 117 fucks at least, according to the IMDb.
Yeah.
And the 3,000 cuts is a minimum. Like, people got tired of counting.
How many fucks is that per cut? What's the fuck cut ratio? I'm not good at math. I got the history and sort of the movies thing, but the math I'm weak
It's
on.
like around 30 cuts per fuck.
Okay.
Somewhere in there, 28 maybe.
That's gonna come up on Jeopardy someday.
He did a director's cut of this movie.
Okay.
And it's 6 minutes shorter.
Okay. Still,
That's weird.
Somehow it's 4,000 cuts, but weird.
While still leaving Jim Caviezel on the cutting room floor.
Oh no!
As Al Pacino's son.
Oh, Jimmy
and
C.
Sizemore's on the cutting room floor. There's a bunch of people. There's a bunch of
oh my God.
all of Anne Margaret's callbacks, which were apparently numerous and very stressful, on the cutting room floor. Like, maybe this thing could be 5 hours long. I don't think it would make any sense still, but it could be 5 hours long if they didn't, And that when he went back to make the director's cut, he's like, I need to cut more out of this. I gotta axe this down. And he added like 12 minutes of footage, and it ends up being 6 minutes shorter.
Maybe all those Anne Margaret callbacks really didn't have anything to do with the movie. He just wanted Anne Margaret to come back.
Maybe. Yeah. She seems nice.
She seems nice, and she's a lovely woman.
To add to the muddling, he adapted his own screenplay, Monday Night, another screenplay, Any Given Sunday, and another screenplay, Playing Hurt, and then found the book, You're Okay, It's Just a Bruise, A Doctor's Sideline Secrets. And that's what he stuffed into the screenplay.
Okay, all right.
James Woods.
You said Any Given Sunday was the screenplay that he stuffed in the screenplay. So are you saying that he had like not a storyboard, but just a basic rough sketch, and then was like, wait, I read all this other crap. What if I just stuff all the other crap in with my crap?
Yeah, he was like, I got a Monday night Sunday or Monday night football movie. I got this movie, and then they're like, oh, there's this spec script that we got called Any Given Sunday. He's like, oh, let me read that. And he's like, there's a lot of good stuff in there. And then he's like, I found this other one, Playing Hurt. There's a lot of good stuff in there. And I just finished reading, It's Just a Bruise. So I'm going to just mash it all up. I'm going to mash it all up into a, 10-hour fucking orgy of editing.
Great. Yeah.
James Woods and what's his face? His assistant, Matthew Modine. There we go.
Matthew Modine, yeah.
The Matthew Modine is basically the Robert Huizenga character that he quit the Raiders after the Mike Harden case, where the head doctor's like, let him play. Nobody knows about it. It's like, I had to dig way deep in old Sports Illustrated articles, but apparently at one point, like,
Sam went to the vault, guys. The Stinker Madness vault, and perused through all of our back issues of Sports Illustrated using the what are those damn machines called that we've got down there that you
microfiche?
Yeah, microfiche. He's going through the articles, and he learned who Batman was at the same point in time, but we're going to just focus on the Sports Illustrated. What are you talking about? You dug through a bunch of Sports Illustrateds.
Well, I was curious because apparently Huizenga quit the Raiders because Mike Harden, their safety, had a broken neck. And he's like, if he gets hit the right way, he's probably going to fucking die. And they're like, he's going to be fine.
Okay.
He'll be fine. So he quits. And it was like John Rosenthal or something like that was the head medic. But all of that Cameron Diaz, Matthew Modine, and James Woods shit is basically from that book, whereas you probably got the Dennis Quaid shit from Playing Hurt, and then him playing Tug Kowalski was probably from his script, and then the Steamin' Jimmy Beeman shit is probably the racially motivated shit's Any Given Sunday.
Okay.
Got a real melting pot.
Yeah. I don't know if that's... all right. Well, yeah, we'll find out next week whether this is a do or a don't for me.
Either way, it makes $100 million worldwide.
It's good.
Against 55. I think it basically did a little bit better than broke even domestically, but this won 3 blockbuster awards, which means it fucking killed it in the rental market, which is where I saw it.
Yeah.
I went to Blockbuster and rented it, and I watched it twice because I thought I liked it. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times since then. I don't know how many times I've actually watched this movie, and this is the first time because I was pausing all the time because there is very key points and plot points that are important to the story and what's going on that are just like little glyphs that you have to read that are in 2-second shots. There's no way to digest this, but this time around, I actually paused it when he was scribbling on the schedule, and for the first time in however many times of seeing this movie, I know how many games are in this season.
16.
18 with one bye.
Wait, what?
Yes. There's 18 games with one bye.
Okay, we're going to get into that because that's wrong. That is incorrect. It may be written on the piece of paper, but it is incorrect as evidenced by the games played in the movie.
But we only see like 3 games, and then at 2 points, Al Pacino and Dennis Quaid say things like, "Hey, you gotta do it for 16 games." Not
Yes.
2!
Yeah.
But on the schedule, the regular season is 18 games long, and I can tell you that they are in the same division as Minnesota, Chicago, and New York, because those are the only teams that appear on their schedule twice.
Mm-hmm.
The teams on their schedule are the Minnesota Americans, the Houston Cattlemen, the Washington Lumbermen,
Oh my God.
the Oregon Pioneers, the New York Emperors, the Chicago Rhinos, the Colorado Blizzard, the San Francisco Knights, the Orlando Crushers, the Wisconsin Icemen, the Kansas Twisters, and the Seattle Prospects. Not the Prospectors. The Seattle has a team that might be good football players, but we're really not sure yet.
Yeah, we're checking them out.
Okay, so here's the first bit of nonsense, and you just read us off the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the 3 games that we do see is against the Crusaders.
That's true.
So
That's San Francisco, right?
No,
Well,
you said the
I
San Francisco
read
Knights.
them. That was the California Crusaders.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Oh, you
hear
did?
that
Okay,
one.
all right. Okay, all right. Woo. Ollie almost fucked that one up again.
He almost fell on his own sword playing Tug Kowalski? No, I'm pretty sure he did.
Because there's some problems with what is written in this movie and what actually happens in this movie. Like, we're going to get into that fairly soon after starting this. Are we gonna talk about the myriad of people that are in this movie?
I think we should save it for next week or just mention them as they go along because we're going to miss, we would talk about, 10 cameos that haven't happened yet. So I think we should save cast for next week.
Okay. I mean,
just mention them as we
let's just say there is an assload of both A and B listers and character actors. Like, almost everybody on screen is somebody whose name you know. There is hardly any times somebody is like, oh, hey, that's a guy I don't know. I mean, this thing is wall to wall with talent.
Also fun, I think it's Darnell Autry had tried to audition to be an extra or one of the players. And when he's in line, they're walking through and they're like, "You don't look like a football player. Get out of here." And he's like, what? Good job.
It's the same thing as Tony Hawk. Like, hey, you kind of look like Tony Hawk. Huh.
Weird blackball connection. I think in this half we do see Terrell Owens. And I think he got in a bunch of shit for doing this movie, among the other shit that he was already in. But this being in this movie might be part of the TO. Never fucking... I mean, the numbers are Hall of Fame, and they could have been so much more, but stuff like this.
Okay. All right. Jackie, now last week you got very excited about the amount of penis that's in this movie. Are you still excited about the amount of penis, or were you actually creeped out in the scene where the amount of penis takes place?
So it was fine as Cameron Diaz is walking in, and, there's just a couple of penises. But I will put on this disclaimer that there is a reflection that comes in from the window, and it was right at penis length, or penis height, right, on the screen. And so I was missing a majority of the penises, even though I was trying to, angle my head, I can't really see any of the penises. This is bullshit. This is the only reason I like this movie. And then it goes to a very
only reason.
Then it goes to a very creepy shower scene where everybody is in this little tiny shower together, and there's probably 20 people, and their asses to elbows in this shot. And I'm like, that's got to be uncomfortable. Like, guys flailing their wieners around, and then a gator.
Okay, all right.
Okay, let's save it. But in that shot, there's a guy staring at the camera, tugging on his wiener to make it longer.
I did not see that.
I just noticed it this time around. I was like, oh, that guy's fucking stretching right now. Hey, this is not
God.
good. This is not good.
But you got to do that. Well, you're an extra. You don't have a locker room, or the trailer.
Going to be immortalized for being a big dick guy, you better fucking make sure it's all out there. So there's a bunch of naked dudes and a guy pulling on his wiener in the back.
Guys, hold on. Don't yell. No, not action. I'm not done pulling.
I gotta yank it a couple more times. It's going to be great. You just wait and see.
I can be as big dick as these other big dick guys.
I thought he was washing his wiener off, but that makes more sense.
A man grabbing his own dick on screen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Any Given Sunday, part 1. My God, do we have to? You know what? Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know, feel free to get as drunk as you want, because you know what? Fuck it. I just don't care. This isn't going to be a high and tight episode. If you want, you guys need to get some something going. You want to get shit-faced on a podcast. This is the week to do it, because I don't care. I hate this movie.
Sam is drinking Propel.
Yeah, great. Good thing you guys got shit-faced on
Sports Illustrated articles that were like 20 years old.
I'm drinking vodka sodas, so.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Movie starts out pretty, I guess it doesn't start out. It starts out with some bullshit with some guys playing football in the clouds, but...
It starts out with a Lombardi quote.
Yeah, Vince quote.
Yada, 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 men laying on the field of battle victorious is the greatest, blah, blah, blah.
And okay. It's weird because it's kind of shaking, so it's making it difficult to read it. Because it's like, I think it's supposed to be like on an old camera reel or something, like old film. Mm-hmm. But it's just kind of shaking enough to where you're like, it's kind of hard to read.
Okay. All right. Weird. Anyways, what we've got going on is the Miami Sharks are playing a foosball game. I can't remember who they're playing against in the beginning.
They're playing the Minnesota Americans.
Okay, the Minnesota Americans. And their star, very old quarterback, played by Dennis Quaid, who may be 38 or 39 because the TV announcers are not real sure what his age is, gets drilled.
This is before, was it Dempsey played forever? But he played punter for the last part of his career, right?
Yeah. He just died like 2 weeks ago or this week. I don't know, but it's weird.
This is, 20 years before Tom Brady does it, like 36 and you're out at this point. Like the 38-year core, he's got a few years left. Like in football terms at this stage in time, no, 38 is like ancient. DeBerg, I think, played that long, maybe.
He's very old. And he is the top. Like, he's their guy. He's their franchise quarterback. They love him. And he took them to the Pantheon Cup or Bowl or whatever, like the 4 years ago. Cup. But I do want to just back up and make sure that we're all on the same page, that they at one point say he's 38 and then just 2 minutes later say he's 39, thus reinforcing my point that Oliver Stone doesn't know what the fuck is going on in his own goddamn movie.
Well, you mashed too many things into the script and you lost track of all of it. He was too busy trying to do method acting, hookers and blow to do Tug Kowalski.
Yeah, right. Okay, so he gets walked off the field. James Wood is like, you're tough. You can do it. Rub some dirt in it. Come on, let's go. And he gets off, and he's clearly not good. So this sub goes in, and we don't really care about the sub, who the hell he is, because he's not really involved in the movie. He's the backup. He goes in, he fumbles for a fumble six. It's not a pick six. They need a better name for that. Blumble.
We get our first glimpse of who I'm going to refer to as Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, right.
Because Dan's getting a lot of traction as a QB guru. And like all these QB gurus now, if the QB gurus are Trent Dilfer and Dan Orlovsky, Fuck you. I
Okay.
watched both those guys play. They fucking sucked.
Here we go.
Dan Orlovsky was directing traffic from 6 yards out of bounds. Trent Dilfer had to get thrown into a locker so that Shannon Sharp would throw him the fucking football.
I think Sam just wanted to do this movie now, Jackie, so we could talk about football. Like,
Oh.
we did that. Like, we already had that, Sam. It was called It's a Football Show. And it didn't work, so we did Stinker Madness, and it kind of barely worked, so.
I'm done. I'm done. But
All right.
I'm just fucking throwing some shade on these guys that the world is telling us are QB experts. Fuck you.
You know, you notice Jackie didn't, when we did that bowling movie, she didn't go in deep into the, Fred Darvison. Yeah, he was a great bowler.
I kind of...
Jimmy Toonies Kowalski, the best bowler in Omaha.
It's Tug Kowalski. He's in bowling after whatever he played in football. Method acting. Oliver Stone. It's right there.
What? I'm lost. I was making fun of you for talking about...
I don't care.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I don't
There we
care.
go. All right, so Willie Beeman, Jamie Foxx's character, he goes in. He gets sent in by Coach Pacino. And he's super nervous. He's okay. So Willie Beeman's played for 4 teams. He's only taken a couple snaps in action, and now he's not starting. He's subbing in for 2 quarterbacks, third man on the totem pole for the Miami Sharks.
Yeah. It's a situation where he was probably on the roster as a different spot, and they're like, this guy used to play quarterback. I think I saw this happen with the Redskins one time. So, because
here it
most
goes
teams
again.
are only going to field 2 quarterbacks, right?
Right.
We have to talk about football. It's a movie about football.
Nah. No, this is a movie about drama and life, Sam.
This is a movie about costumes for me and the mascots. That's what entertained me throughout this movie, and wieners.
Mm-hmm.
So
See, it has nothing to do with football, Sam.
I
Oh,
will just
you
say
guys
that
are-
the Sharks, their logo is fucking dumb. It's
It
like
sucks.
It's like something that you would put on the back window of your car if you had like been to Hawaii and you went swimming
Yeah.
with the sharks,
Yeah.
and that way you
It
can be
is.
a douche and talk about it later. And then their little
It is all
fin thing that
Yeah,
they do
they
on
do.
top of their head is just really stupid.
the Jenna Marbles land shark.
Yeah.
Yep. That's Jenna Marbles,
Um,
Midnight Shark. Sure.
It is almost as if the graphic design for their helmets has been done so that the common as dirt shark keychain bottle opener
Yeah, I was thinking
that
that
LL
too.
Cool
Yeah.
J has in his hand
Oh
later
my.
in the film
Okay.
makes sense. It's like they made the logo after that so they could have a shark keychain that was easy to get.
Yeah.
Yep.
There it is. Okay. All right. So he goes in. Jamie Foxx. He's super nervous. He's all like, "Whoa, I'm seeing in Oliver Stone vision because the stadium's getting fuzzy and there's all this editing going around me." Blech. So he pukes, and I'm right there with him. I'm like, "Man, there's too much goddamn editing. It's making me motion sickness." I puked watching this movie too, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
You know?
I really didn't understand it was like he was supposed to be paranoid.
Mhm.
But then it was like the wrong. It was really disorienting because to me, his character should have been nervous, right? But instead, it just seemed like he was on a bad drug trip and he was hallucinating and seeing, things that weren't there. And it was just really weird for me. I was like, so is he having a panic attack? Is that what this is
No,
supposed to be?
He's got Oliver Stone vision, Jackie. How did you miss that whole thing? He's got Oliver Stone vision. That's all you need to worry about.
The world's moving too fast for him. Also, this is my first spot on a bad cut of a guy that shouldn't be in the shot because whatever the backup quarterback Orlovsky guy, he's been hurt, but when Beeman pukes, it cuts back to Al Pacino, and he's there with the headset on, standing next to him.
There you go. Yeah, he got his leg broken
There's-
off or something.
Later in the movie, there'll be a guy that's hurt for the year that's like in the locker room during one of the speeches,
True.
wearing
All right.
pads.
So there is so much drama and so much editing and over sound effect crunching of men's and we're monsters now, linemen.
Yeah, at one point there was a lion sound.
Yeah, fuck off.
There's lion sounds all the way through it.
Yeah,
Also, there's a shot of a guy bleeding heavily on his arm, and this is well after you'd have to tape that up.
Yeah.
Because of AIDS.
Yeah, that's true, right? Because on account of the AIDS. Okay. And then he throws a pick. All right, good job.
Yep.
All right. Halftime. And they go in the locker room, and everybody's like, we lost 3 in a row, man. This sucks. Our team sucks, and you suck, and everybody sucks, and now we don't have a quarterback. And the doctors are like, stitch him up. And, well, Doc, I'm Matthew Modine. I don't just stitch him up. I have to play a smart guy that, thinks about things at all times. So I'm going to do that. And James Woods' like, no, nobody likes you. Get out of here. You're just, you're the other doctor. Fuck off.
The trainer. He's the trainer.
Okay, all right.
So the first of many scenes of Dennis Quaid writhing around. It hurts. Like,
oh my
stop
God.
writhing around.
Yeah.
Quit moving. Quit moving.
Did you eat some Taco Bell? What's going on in there, Dennis Quaid?
Yeah, I mean, I've been through a back thing, like they say that he has, right, where he's slipped a disc or whatever he's done, and you don't fucking move. You don't want to move at all.
No, absolutely not.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but we were actually watching, speaking of football, we were watching the Super Bowl when my back finally went out to the point where you guys had to take me to the ER. Do you guys remember that?
I do, yes, of course. No, I forgot about the time we had to take you to the ER because your back exploded.
I don't remember who was playing.
That doesn't sound
I don't remember who was playing either, but it was like they won, and I've been laying in the same position for like hours, and then it was like, guys, I think my back is done. I think you guys need to take me to the hospital. I mean, just in case the listeners are wondering, I'm not in a wheelchair or anything like that. I had surgery. It worked out just fine, but it was pretty. You don't writhe around on the bed like this is happening.
No, this is fucking stupid as shit right here.
You are
also,
so.
Not to mention he got speared in the kidneys, not the back. Also, he got speared and there was no flags because there's no fucking flags in this movie at all.
There is a shot of a flag flying through the air, but we never see what was called.
Yeah. I mean, the delay of game business, he pulls out Jamie Foxx at one point and gives him a speech about like, hey, go back to the hood because that's how the darkies talk,
Yeah.
Al Pacino. Nice job, Al Pacino, the hood. And then, your mom's calling you in for dinner and it's probably cornbread because I'm racist.
Yeah.
And,
Run to the Pontiac. Just turn around, I'll throw you the ball. It's a Pontiac because you guys can't afford better cars than a Pontiac.
He says it's a Buick. It's a Buick, gentlemen.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's probably, I was wrong. It should have been a Pontiac. Buicks are too nice for you people.
Tweet. Delay of game again. You can't just give your quarterback speeches that take 5 minutes during a football game. Al Pacino. Whoa. I got to.
He does the worst coach speak. Is this the poop part where the guy that's been drinking too heavily is going to get loaded up with IVs and the trainer's like squeezing the bag to try to get the IV into him faster, which is something that you don't do.
No.
And then they have to like go into the one toilet in this locker room.
The one toilet. All of them.
This is
the kicker's on the toilet, and I'm sorry, but if I'm pooping, I don't just stand up and walk away from the toilet. Like, I gotta finish. I don't know about you guys, but it's like
it's first come, first serve.
I'm mid poop. Use the sink.
Yeah, don't care. I'm not getting up. Absolutely.
Maybe
not.
that's how he is going to keep people away from roughing him. Nobody's going to rough that kicker or punter because of the poop.
Because
poop smell.
Because of his poop smell?
Yeah.
I don't know if that is no.
Okay.
I think they'd be like, no, we're still gonna beat you up because your poop smells. All of our poop smells. Let's duct tape you to the flagpole now. But guys, I got off the toilet for you. No, not good enough.
After the poop joke that falls horribly flat.
Yeah. The shit.
Al Pacino comes in. You guys are terrible. You, head on a swivel, and just gives the most generic coach speak.
Yeah.
You gotta block, pivot around the man.
You gotta
It's
watch
terrible.
Watch out for the cornerbacks. They're coming in. Don't throw them the ball. They're the other team. And when you get the ball, run towards your goal, not their goal. Go in the same direction every time. That's how you win.
We work the blitz package all week. It's like we've never seen it before. What is going on?
I call it his famous do something speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's really dramatic about it, too.
Well, of course, it's Al Pacino.
But not dramatic in the right areas, because it's like Sam's saying, we practiced the blitz all week. You, swivel your head! And then, we practiced it all week, gentlemen. I mean, I really need you to, you, stop pooping in that toilet! Like, it's not inspiring in the right spots.
No, it's not inspiring at all.
It's kind of like, I'm talking into a paper bag, and here you go.
I don't know what to do.
Let's just go out.
You guys know what to do. Somebody's got to do something out there. Nobody's doing somethings. You go do somethings. Yay!
Raise your hand if you want to be a loser.
Yay!
I'm raising my hand because I'm hanging out with you.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Okay, now it's now nighttime.
You can't skip over when he's talking about being a loser and LL Cool J stands up on a chair and raises his hand and everybody thinks it's so funny.
Sam just did it. I want to skip because LL Cool J sucks. Can we just skip LL Cool J? I mean, like, why? Well, you can't skip LL Cool J. I'm pretty sure I can.
But he's so douchey throughout this whole movie that you kind of have to acknowledge his character. His character is somebody you instantly hate based off of this scene because this is his first line in the movie.
No, I hate his rival much worse, but we'll get into that later. Okay, so now it's nighttime? What the hell? How long were you guys in there? Delay a game, tweet.
Yeah.
And they're down by 10. So here's the next thing. That doesn't work because the starting score, they were down by 3. They get a pick 6.
They're down by 10.
That's 7. That's 10 by 10. Okay, never mind. All right. So anyways, they're down by 10. And Beeman throws a touchdown, which moves them up by 3. That's my note. That's why there's question marks all over this. Beeman throws a touchdown, and they go up by 3. That touchdown was worth 13 points. How'd that happen?
They just forward cut through the scores. I've watched this enough to know that if you're going to try to keep track of it, they skip over scores. They just elapse the game like, okay, some shit happened. We got a field goal. It wasn't important. This is the big play, I guess. It's like watching Sports Center.
Okay, I guess. Because we'll see if that works out later because I think that they actually go backwards in numbers here later. But anyways, so they're about to win the game. Things are going pretty well for these guys. And Pacino looks across the field and he's like, hey, I know that coach. Yeah, you've been playing him all day today, Al. He's like, no, I know what he's doing here. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's he's gonna stop us if we don't run the same play twice.
He doesn't say that. He goes, I know this coach. He's a dickhead. Okay, what does that mean? Run the same play.
Run the same play.
And then the coach
twice.
on the other side, and I can't remember. I did not spot who this was. He's like,
Roger Corman. That's what
dickheads are going to run the same play.
Yeah.
And so they line up, and he does an audible.
Because fucking Beeman's like, wait, what? We're running the same play twice? Out in the huddle, like, guys, did you hear that? We're running the same. He's not doing. Now, I think this actually inspired me. When I'm the head coach of the Bears or whoever sucks so bad that they need to hire an amateur podcaster.
The Seattle Prospects.
Yeah, the Seattle
looking
Prospects,
for a guy like you.
They're calling me and they say, hey, we need you to come in. Now, I'm gonna get Eli Manning as my quarterback, and he's gonna go out there and mid Omahaing, he's gonna yell out, same play, guys, same play, but same play is actually a flea flicker, and everybody's going to fall for it because they're like, oh, up the middle again? Oh, too easy. See, that's what you do. It's an audible. We're running the same play.
Deception.
Yeah, I'm clever.
You just yell at the other team from the other side of the football, and you go, we're not going to score a touchdown on this one, guys.
No.
Honest engine. I changed it to engine because the other way is racist.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Very progressive, Sam. Okay. All right. So that doesn't work. and they fumble for another 6 points in the other direction. So they lose. They've now lost.
Also, before he throws, I thought he threw a pick in this one at the end, doesn't he?
Beeman? No.
Yeah, he
Fumbles
does.
the last thing.
He does.
No,
because
threw
he
a pick
looks
at the beginning.
at the crowd and it turns into the ghosts of yesteryear.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is this?
That was
and
the
then
beginning.
There's heavy metal cheerleaders for probably the longest shot
Oh,
of the
yeah.
entire movie.
No, that's halftime. Yeah, you guys are moving back. See, you're doing a bunch of
It's
Oliver
impossible
Stone
to tell what
stuff.
happens
It
when.
is. It's so jumbled. Okay, so either way, they lose 4 in a row. And, and so they lost by 3. So, again, he's winning by 3.
Yeah.
They run a fumble play that is worth 6 points, and then the extra point. There's no extra points in this game.
Maybe the time expired and they just don't kick the extra point.
I don't know if there's extra points in this game. Anyways, so now their record is 7-6, which does come into play because you say there's 18 games. Well, that means that there are 13 games right now. Okay? 13 games right now.
Which we have to I can't beat this to death that I've seen this like 6 to 8 times, and this is the first time I figured out where they are in their season.
Okay?
And without me saying that, we would be going,
Where are they
so
in their
where
season?
are they in the season?
Yeah, right, yeah. 7-6. All right. So Pacino, he goes and visits Quaid, Jimmy, what's his name? Jack Rooney. And he's in the hospital. He's like, don't worry, you're my guy. Oh, yeah, well, I'll be ready for the playoffs, coach. Don't worry, I'm coming back. I'm 110 years old. I've got kidneys that look like old potatoes, but I'm coming back to win you. What do we win?
The Pantheon Cup.
Oh, that's right, the Pantheon Cup. I'm getting you one of those. Who are you? And then coach goes to this hotel bar. Why are you drinking at a hotel bar? That was a home game. And he gets hit on by a prostitute.
No, this is like the towny Miami Sharks bar because him and
No,
Tug
it's
Kowalski, they're on the wall. He's got a caricature on the wall, and so does Oliver Stone
It
as
looks
Tug
like
Kowalski.
a hotel bar. It looks like an upscale hotel bar.
It sure does, but this is supposed to be the Sharks hangout. The Shark Pit.
There's pros working it, Sam.
That's what would happen if it was the NFL.
No, pros
hangout.
work the hotel bar. Not the place where you go all the time. Get out
What
of
if you
here,
want a
Brenda,
regular?
with your freaking highfalutin.
I know, I'm
hussy
going
ways.
to argue this with you because we'll see her later because Elizabeth Berkley shows up for the
it's
first time.
Yeah, right.
And she's a pro. She's not trying to get $1,000 for the blowjob or $5,000 for the night once. She wants that twice a month.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's
So
what they
that's-
all want, right?
Yeah.
That's how you keep a sustaining business.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If somebody would give me $1,000 for sex, I would probably do it. I would only have to do it like a couple times a month, and
Married.
then I wouldn't.
Just to remind you, married
Then-
to me.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have to like worry about a boss or any of that stuff, and you know, and it's all tax free because I would just have them pay me in cash.
No. Oh, no, because he writes her a check later.
That's true.
You take checks.
Do you take American Express? I get good air miles. Yeah, so she hits him up for that money. He's like, no, get out of here. So he calls his ex. He gets all shit-faced. He calls his ex and says, hey, I'm going to be in L.A. in a couple weeks. I miss my kids. We're grandparents now. Oh, why'd we ever get divorced? Blech. Oh, sorry, I puked in my shoe while I was talking to you. Anyways, bye. And then the phone is like, boo-doo-doo. To make a call, please insert 25 cents. He's on his own landline. And at the beginning of this phone call, we hear her answering machine pick up. What the hell? That's not how the phone works.
It's
Oliver
not how the
Stone.
phone works. Oh, yes. Yes. That's not how the phone works.
That's
This
not
is
how the phone
all of
works.
it.
Yep. Okay, so then he goes to Christine's house, and he gets chewed out by her. Like, you're not as good as you. You don't have fight in you. You're terrible, and I'm going to sell the team, and you can't do that. This is your dad's legacy. And
Well, basically what he tells her is, your dad let me do whatever the hell I want, and that's what I expect out of you, so fuck off, bitch. And she's like, no, motherfucker, I am writing the goddamn checks. We are leaving millions on the table. Get your shit in gear or you're out of here. And he's like, you're not going to fire me. You're not going to tell me what to do. You're not going to let my ancient quarterback go. This is an old boys club, and you can go fuck yourself.
He does make some good points about her getting rid of free agents and having a shoddy offensive line, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the offensive line stinks.
And I think we skipped ahead of why they've lost 4 games straight. Because there's a practice sequence before this, and they're running drills as if it was training camp.
Yeah.
True.
They're just doing drills like, no, you guys are terrible.
Okay, week 13, let's push the sleds, boys. And actually, no, Sam, it's not that we skipped over it, because this practice is happening while he's at the house. Like, coach isn't even there for practices. How are we going to win football games if our coach isn't here?
They're doing drills.
Yeah. Push the
You don't need
sled.
him out there for that shit.
Okay, you see the squishy thing over there that looks like a big tube? Run into that. See the little things that are skinny tubes that are run in between those. Real fast. A little faster. Yeah. You got to step back and forth. See these tires? Run through, you put your foot in that tire, then that tire, then that tire, then that tire.
And is this the training scene where they're having races to see who can run the fastest? Like
that's later. That's later. Yeah. Okay. So they're talking about trading Jack Rooney, their star 38/39-year-old quarterback who is currently in the hospital for football-related injuries, and she thinks she can get a fucking second or third round draft.
No,
or second
she
and
thinks she
third
can get
round.
a second and a third for him,
Draft
and like a third
pick
for an aged linebacker in Shark LeBeau.
Jack Rooney? No, you ain't getting shit for Jack Rooney.
Someone who really needs a quarterback will relieve you of his salary commitments. That's what happens to a quarterback at that stage. Like, we'll pick up his contract because we need a guy for a year, and then your salary cap space is free. Yeah. That's all you can get for a guy at that stage.
Yeah, man. You are nuts, ladies. Second and third round.
So in Pacino's defense, she's about as good as Dan Snyder at being a general manager. Hey-o!
Hey-o. Okay, so next game, it's 14-3 is where we cut to. They're losing. There's 8 minutes left, and the second stringer's in. The guy from before. The guy had his leg hurt. Fumbled the ball. So again, B-Man is not starting. This is week 15 of the season, and he's not, 14, and he's not the starter. Okay? Just wanted to have everybody put a pin in that right there. Okay. So he sucks. The second stringer, that Pacino's like, you know what? This was a bad call putting you in here. The offense just isn't working. Okay, all right.
Go to sit down.
Yeah.
He's so tentative that he can't move the ball.
Right.
Trentative, Dilfer.
Oh. Also, Lawrence Taylor is in this movie, and he gets a fumble, but he gets clocked so hard that he starts seeing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's now got all of his shown vision.
And he had been yelled at by Jim Brown to do something. So we haven't mentioned that Jim Brown is in this movie, too.
Oh, yeah, Jim Brown's in this movie. Yeah, right. Okay. Just say everybody's in it.
Everybody's in it, except Tom Cruise.
Yeah, right. Tom Cruise isn't in this movie? How is that not?
Because you can't shoot a football scene when you're standing on a crate.
It was bad enough when we saw Al Pacino standing next to an actual NFL guy and he was at his waist.
Yeah. Right.
Can you imagine Tom Cruise?
Throw it
Boost
to me.
Me up, guys.
Throw it to me.
Jamie Foxx is only 5'9", but he looks it around some of these guys. Cameron Diaz is taller than him in 2 shots.
Yeah. Okay, so B-Man goes in, and he runs for 40 yards. Look at him scramble. He's doing something. And he finishes the drive with a touchdown. Yay. And, I mean, not yay, because screw these guys. They all suck. And LL Cool J His character's name is Townsend, I think. He's pissed because at the line, B-Man was like, we're not running that play. We're going to run the X flag cross sweeps with a Sticky Wickham in at the 12. Go on 6. Huts.
T-Waggle 14, 36 left. Rutabaga on 14.
Yeah, you already did. You did that one.
Rutabaga!
You started.
I think Rutabaga should be a audible, like Omaha.
Okay. No, it's same play. Or changing play. You say changing play when you're running the same play, and same play when you're doing a different play. You don't know shit about football, dude.
Rutabaga's code for awesome.
Rutabaga's just, it's confusing. Just make it simple.
We're not going to score a touchdown, honest.
Yeah. People think you're serving food. They the linemen will stand up and be like, oh, I'd like some rutabagas. No, you're playing football. It's same play. Oh, and then DMX comes out and offends me greatly. Makes me feel very uncomfortable. Thanks, DMX. Your lyrics. Ugh.
Wait, what?
You don't remember DMX's very not word we can say?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the N-word? The N-word song that happens right here? And I'm like, why is this in here? It is so degrading.
Because this is the start of his racial commentary right here.
I don't know if Jackie
it is
knows
on
who
purpose.
DMX is.
I know who DMX is. He's a rapper.
We watched him in Exit Wounds.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. That's true. All right. So he throws another touchdown, and the score is now 17-17. What the hell? It was 14-13. So, yeah, 2 touchdowns, but at some point they kicked a field. It's just the scoring is just all over the place, and I don't like that it just skips over stuff. That's not how you make a sports movie. Then he runs one in himself, and they cut, and I guess they won. I guess they won the game because we don't see that happen.
Yeah. And we're seeing that in the film, Jamie Foxx's character, Willie Beeman, is having a very hard time contemplating or getting the playbook down, actually. And so he does what would actually happen in a football game at the NFL level if a guy that just got thrown in there that was a different position, they would play around him, not be like, oh, you didn't read the playbook? If he knows how to run simple plays, everybody else does too. Then it's just down to athleticism. Sure. And he's got it.
Yeah, okay.
I will also say that naming your kid or naming the one of the actors Steeman, it reminded me of a steamer and shitting on somebody's chest. And so I was like, ouch, no. There's so many turd jokes that can be made about this guy.
Well, I mean, if they traded him to Cleveland, then, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I also don't think you realize that he's steaming Willie Beeman. Like steaming Beeman. He's steaming. The steam is coming off of him because he's like...
Because he's cracked on somebody's chest?
No,
and there's
because
steam
he's like a choo-choo train. He's like a choo-choo train coming through, Jackie. He's steaming through the... He's cutting through it like a knife. Like
that's not what I got.
Okay.
He's got his head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Yeah, his head was not on a swivel.
Okay. Whatever. Where the hell are we?
They won, and now we're at the Dare Gala.
Yeah, the party.
And she's donating like what, 200,000?
250,000.
You fucking do.
The Dare. Yeah, cool. You've done so much for keeping drugs out of the hands of children and into the hands of your coach and players. So Dare wants to thank you for everything you've done to, make sure everybody has jobs, but just keep it, away from the kiddies. Okay?
This gala probably cost as much as she donated.
Probably.
That's what those are. That's the size of that all the time.
Yeah. Nice.
But
you guys
this
just wanted to throw a party, assholes.
Yeah, but this is also where we get up to this point, my favorite scene, which is the really big football player guy who likes the heavy metal, and he's talking to the old woman. She's like, I'm in between marriages at this point in time. He's like, what do you do for dick? Like, I love that scene.
That's
Yeah?
Andrew Byrnivsky, who's in a lot of football movies, including Necessary Roughness and that one, The Program. There we go.
So is he an actual football player then?
No, he's a guy who plays football players on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
He may have been. I don't really care about him all that much. He's kind of funny in this. Was it Metallica in the scene previous when they were listening to? Because it didn't sound like Metallica to me.
No, it's off of Kill 'Em All.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Sounds good.
did we skip over the whole naked alligator scene?
No! God! Jesus. You need to start taking notes so that you know where the hell we're at in movies. Because this one's too confusing for you to do a podcast on. Did they win the Super Bowl yet? Have we got to the playoffs? No! God!
I should really be asking.
Got 2 pages of notes. I know where we're at.
What I should really be asking is this the point where we stop so I could go get cheese to eat? Because that was a defining moment.
All right.
Yeah, we're not at the wieners yet.
No. So this charity party, the mayor wants to meet Wheelie Beeman. Even though
he's played 2 fucking games.
Jack Rooney's there. Jack Rooney's like, yeah, you don't want to talk to me anymore, huh? Okay. Only been here for fucking winning games for goddamn decade, whatever. And his girl,
he's being kind of nice. He's like the nicest person in this movie, you notice? Because like the mayor is like the other guy, and he's like, oh, he's talking about Willie, and his wife's like, don't mention his name. It's like, dude, the guy's on my team. He's a young kid. I'm trying to teach him how to play quarterback.
Yeah,
he's
the only nice guy in this movie.
He's not trying to teach him how to play quarterback. He's not teaching him shit.
Well, and then
They're not even in the scene together.
Well, then we get all these scenes about Willie B's girlfriend, and her getting just absolutely dismissed by everybody at the party. Right, she's being pushed out of shots. The wives,
including B-Man.
Yeah, I mean, she's being pushed out of shots by $1,000 hookers, and when he's meeting the mayor, and then she goes to talk to the players' wives, and they're like, if you're not a wife, you're a fucking shit. Get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And then she starts to question their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But she does it at a real bad time when he's just struggling with the playbook.
Yeah. So, it's a tough situation for both of them, but they do manage to break things off cleanly and very amicably. I think they're going to be pretty good friends, someday. Someday they're going to call each other and be like, thanks for being there for me all those times.
Yeah.
You were a good guy.
When the last thing you scream at somebody is, fuck you, you ugly bitch.
Big ass.
Oh, big
bitch.
ass. That's big ass bitch. You're right. I just don't really think that there's a whole lot to come back from. I mean, if somebody talks to me like that, I would want to stab them. And it would take everything within my power not to do that. I would have to walk away, or I would commit murder.
I guess you and I have different views on successful breakups, because this seems to go pretty well. No, it goes poorly. They have a real ugly breakup. They're both terrible people and should be sent to space. Goodbye. Anyway, so now they're on a plane. They're headed to LA, I'm assuming, because he said LA earlier. And the coach, Al, he goes over and talks to Willie B. And Willie B's like, hey, old man, I'm listening to rap. And Al Pacino's like, you listen to some jazz? I've got some jazz tapes you can have. This is 2006. I've got tapes. And he looks at Al Pacino and like, no, you crazy old man. This is 2006. We have CDs in 2006. And I'm like, motherfucker, we had MP3 play. You have a Zune. It's 2006. Oliver Stone doesn't
99.
know. Wait, this movie's in 99?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
God damn it, is 1999. Now I'm the guy that doesn't know shit about fuck.
Yeah. But let's be realistic. This is still the heyday of the mixtape. And in a Walkman situation, it is a much more reliable machine than the Skip-O-Rama that was the Discman.
Yep.
Skip-O-Rama. Well, he also offers to be his dad.
Yeah, then it gets real weird because he's like, my dad died at a young age too.
Mm-hmm.
And
you like, need a dad?
What happened to Jamie Foxx's dad? Like, is he assuming?
I assume he ran away.
Yeah, I'm like, does he know that for sure? Or is he just assuming that the guy went out for a pack of smokes and never came back? Or he was shot in gang violence because obviously he believes that this character grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
He has a little blue card on all of his guys, and he's finally read Willie's, and he's assuming that the information is correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, it was a little like, wow, I mean, you're really stretching here, buddy, for a connection. Like,
Yeah.
My dad died. I know you don't have a dad because,
Yeah.
Anyways,
Wow.
do you want a dad? I'll be your dad.
The way he delivers it to like, you ever want to talk about stuff like that? I'm here. Like, I don't think anybody ever wants to talk about stuff like that, especially if they've kind of moved on like 30 or 40 years later, right?
yeah, like,
Also-
no thanks.
If you need some tips about the ladies, you can come to me. It won't be awkward. I'll make sure you.
Those won't be. That's actually something you do. Like, that one's $5,000. That one's $3,000. Those are the tips he's going to give them.
Okay. Well, things get worse for the team, even though they're winning, because now there's this animosity between Beeman and Townsend because Townsend's not getting the football. And so they get in some kerfuffle on the field, which causes their tight end to go down for the whole entire season. I think that's the tight end.
I can't. It's one of the linemen. And
Okay. All right.
the whole thing is just asinine. Like, you can't not run it, even in a passing game. You have to fucking run the football.
Yeah, whatever. But they win again. So now they are 8-6. So that's 14 games that they've played. Okay. Here we go with the locker room, Jackie, just to get you where you want to be. Christine comes in. She's the owner. First thing there is a player with his dong out, and it's not weird, or I guess it's not supposed to be weird. It still seems like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What's going on with today's 2022? You're a lady in a dude's locker room. What's the status there?
Well, it kind of seems like she grew up with the team.
No, I'm not talking about Christine, Jackie. I'm talking about in 2022. You go into the NFL's locker room.
I don't think that they're allowed to walk around naked like that when there's the opposite sex in that room.
I don't think they are.
Let's just be realistic. In professional sports now, everything's like a baseball's clubhouse. The owner can come in whenever they want. They have private areas where they can take showers and get dressed. In the mall area of the clubhouse where everyone can meet and talk to each other, it's an open area and no one's wandering around shaking their dick around like a helicopter.
Right. I don't think that that's a thing. Like, because wasn't there like a thing a few years ago? I don't know. Maybe it was even longer than that. But like there was reporters that would come in and talk to guys and they would get their dicks out.
Yeah.
And like it was a bad deal. Like I mean, we live post Me Too. I can't imagine a female journalist coming in and be like, so that hit against Kowalski, how did you feel about that? And the guy's like, oh, my pee-pee. Touch it, lady. Touch it. Like, I don't think that's the world we live in. So I don't know if that was the world we lived in 1999 either. I don't know. I wasn't there.
I think in 1999 it was, look at my dick, bitch.
This is like the same locker room from fucking Slapshot.
Yeah.
This is not a pro locker room.
Yeah, no, it seems juvenile. Like, I don't know. I'm grossed out by this whole sequence. I mean, even if there was tits on camera, and I mean, I'm talking Selma Hayek style tits, I'm not feeling good here. I think this is icky. And not to mention, like, it's a little homoerotic as well. Anybody? Guys are pretty pally in the shower.
One guy's tugging on his
wrong
wiener.
with that. He's tugging on his wiener in the shower with his coworkers. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are your coworkers, and you guys are fucking walking around lapping it up in soap, and soap probably, and you're just like, getting all in each other's mix. It seems weird.
I'm not a big sports person, so I don't know. Maybe this is normal to be so open, and I mean, when I go to the locker room, it makes me uncomfortable if the lady next to me gets fully naked.
Why would you get fully naked at a public place? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I understand, like, if you need to go change your swimsuit, but they have changing rooms for that stuff.
They got private areas.
And
I've at the high school level,
so many times, like, at public gyms where they don't go into those areas. They just fucking change right in front of the locker, and it's very uncomfortable.
Are these ladies just let me get are these ladies hot, Jackie?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
We're talking like mom asses and saggy boobs, gray pubic hair. I've seen my fair share of gray fucking pubic hair. And they just don't give a fuck. They're just walking around, and maybe they've been in athletic teams, and that's how things are. But I mean, to me, I'm not a prude, but my God, they have the little curtain off areas for a reason. And I mean, I go to a YMCA, and I couldn't imagine being in the nude and then having like a teenage kid or, a little kid coming in there, that's on the way to the pool with his mom or with her mom or whatever. And then looking over and seeing my fat ass in all of its walrusy glory and being like, look, mommy, it's a snowman. Like, no, use the areas it's just gross.
It's the guy in the sauna that opens up the towel and just lets his dong flop out.
Why?
Like his dong needs the sauna more than any other part of his body.
Just why do you? I don't know. I'm not down with this whole sequence, and it gets worse because again, an alligator is brought into the shower by the heavy metal guy, and he's like, oh, and why? Why are you guys douches? Why are you so douchey?
But
where did the alligator come from?
Where'd the alligator come from?
But not only that, is that they're not protecting their private parts because it's still Wiener City in there. They're just holding their balls and they're holding up their wieners like, look, ladies, it's still big. And I'm like, you're showing off your wiener, but that's prime alligator height.
Okay, I don't know.
And they're all huddled together, and it's just weird.
They won't leave the shower either. It's like, just leave the, God damn it. And also, you're fired. You're fired. You're off the team. You're a really good player, but you brought an alligator to work? This wasn't bring an alligator to work day. That's Tuesday. You're out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I would be fired immediately if I brought an alligator to work.
You can't bring an alligator to work.
And then slid it underneath the bathroom stall when my coworker's taking a shit or something. Like, the alligator's gonna bite you.
Isn't that funny? Oh, man. What a riot.
I mean, the HR for this team has to just be completely fucking frazzled.
Yeah. And like, fucking old man Jack Rooney's in the next room. Like, the whole time I'm thinking, I bet you Jack Rooney fucking hates his job. Like, I don't want to go to work with those guys. Ugh, they're terrible.
Well, he's in with the coaching staff, basically making management decisions with them.
Yeah. Ugh. And Townsend's in there throwing fits about the plays, and he tells the offensive coordinator, go fuck himself. Like, no, now you're fired. I'm actually your boss. I'm not the big boss. The offensive coordinator's not, like, I'm not the janitor here, dude. I am your boss still. You also, fuck off.
They say, he's been changing the plays, and it's like, he has? If you called the play,
right? No shit,
and you didn't see it get run, you should be suspicious.
Like, does
he's not audibling. He's changing him in the huddle. At that point, it just doesn't matter. Like, oh, I thought they were all audibles. Well, fucking who cares?
Yeah, did you hear? I mean, like, fucking who cares?
Does he have dementia? God. And he's like, well, I can't really remember what play I told them to do. Yeah, so whatever happens, as long as we're winning, he's just. Like, he's at that stage where he's like, I kind of forget things sometimes, but I don't want to admit it because then they'll make me go for testing.
Then they go and they play beach football against some ladies.
I think it's the cheerleaders.
That's the cheerleaders. They're just waiting on the beach and they're like, hey, ladies, let's play football. The fuck
it doesn't
is this?
make any sense. And yeah, it would probably turn into a wild orgy, which is why they don't have the fraternization of players and cheerleaders anymore.
Well, and they show their asses to him, and it's like...
This is very Navy SEALs.
Oh, it is. Totally. Ugh, it sucks. Willie B's out making music videos now, and my note is, you have started 2 games. You have been the starter for 2 games in your entire career, and you're out making music videos?
He's on the side of a bus.
You're on the side of a bus?
For winning a game.
You've started 2 games in your career. 2.
But now he's the major sponsor for this NFL, whatever it's supposed to be, because we already had an advertisement earlier in the movie for MetRx. Now Jamie Foxx has written a song, and he wants to put it in the movie, and they're like, all right, we'll do a montage of your commercial mixed with a bunch of other shit, and you can do...
But it's a full-length music video as well.
Right, for MetRx.
Yeah, it's a commercial and a music video, and Willie B has... You know what? This 2-game thing... 2 games is so stupid. He's a star after 2... I tried to Google NFL quarterbacks who have started only 2 games. I couldn't find even a list. It's so broad because there's 1,000 billion of them that you've never even heard of.
The last time that a guy came out of nowhere and was that good, and after 2 games people were talking, was Kurt Warner.
After 2 games?
People were talking after 2 games.
Bullshit. I was there. It took 10 games for people to really be like, that guy's going places. 2 games, kiss my ass.
For you and me, it took until he played for the Cardinals before we believed it. But at the time, people were talking. The ESPN guys were talking.
Those guys fucking don't know shit. I guess these guys, maybe it's Oliver Stone. But either way, 2 games. He started 2 games. Get out of here. Music video. Jack Rooney. He's like, oh, well, you're not going to start me, coach, are you? You know, the old guy's no good anymore. And coach is like, no, I'm actually going to start you. He's like, I know I'm getting old. And you don't have to tell me. Dennis Quaid's out. Oh, and Lawrence Taylor has had 3 concussions in 5 months.
That's not good.
Not good. That's hitting your head against a brick wall until you pass out 3 times in 5 months.
Apparently that happened to Merrill Hodge in real life.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah, he had a lot of them.
Yeah, don't think like he should play anymore.
He said that he couldn't think straight for like 10 years or something after he retired. Now he says he feels pretty good, but there's no way of knowing what his brain was like before.
Yeah. I think I feel pretty good. I just can't tell because I don't know who I am or even what I am at this point. Am I an amoeba? How does an amoeba feel? I bet you they feel pretty good. I think I feel pretty good.
Does the water... Do I get wet or does the water get me?
Yeah, it's an
Particle
actual
Man.
Merrill Hodge quote. So Christina wants to play Lawrence Taylor for the playoffs. Like, just keep him playing, Doc, and then we'll cut him in the offseason. He can heal up then.
Yeah, this is where they have that really sketchy conversation, right, about all the medical things that are going on with the team. And I'm sure that this comes from the book that Sam mentioned in The Boring Bullshit. It's Just a Bruise. Now I totally want to look that up and read it because it sounds super interesting. But, I mean, just how fucking sketchy is that shit? Like, and you know that it probably did happen, right? Where they're like, he could probably die, but we need a win.
Happened to Tagliavua a couple of weeks ago. Just saying. Doctor got fired like as a mercy killing so that like the whole organization didn't get flamed, but did happen? Question mark. The tent full of drugs on the sideline?
What?
Yeah. It's Burning Man has now turned into just a traveling show, Sam. They just have a tent on the sideline filled with drugs at all times.
There's a medical tent on the sideline where they can inject players where the TV people where no one can see them getting intravenous drugs for painkillers so they can go back out.
Oh my God, that is terrible, dude. If you're
It
injured,
did happen. It still happens.
Yeah, and you can get a private handy in there too if you need one.
That's fucked up. Like,
yeah, I mean it's not a good handy. You're right.
yeah, I mean it's probably going to be a left-hander, and those are always awkward.
It's by a very old Asian woman, and she's not there for your pleasure. She's just there to get it done. That's fucked up. It is fucked up, Jackie. This is handies. Blah. Okay, so anyways, meanwhile, the coach is being tickled by Elizabeth Hurley for money. Not Elizabeth Hurley. God, I wish. Elizabeth Berkley. He's paid her at minimum $1,000 to do the Gucci goo thing.
So
that was weird sex.
I want to ask, is she wearing a wig? Because it seems like she's got like a really bad wig on.
No.
I wasn't looking at that.
Yeah, right. That too. You know who Elizabeth Berkley is, Jackie, right?
Yeah, I recognize her.
Okay, she's...
from?
Yeah. What do you recognize her from? Good. Okay.
I don't...
Striptease and...
Not striptease.
Showgirls. Showgirls.
Yeah, and...
Showgirls. And...
Saved by the fucking Bell. She's Zack Slater's girlfriend. She's got the really curly hair. That's her hair.
That's her?
Her hair has always looked like that.
This was the shock that people exhibited in 1996 when Striptease came out.
Not Striptease.
You've just gotten there.
It's not
Showgirl. That's
God
whatever.
damn it. Different movie.
Wow.
Showgirls.
I mean, way to try to reboot your career with your hot bod, but it kind of seemed like it fizzled out with those two movies.
Didn't really work out, huh?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll do Showgirls one day. Anyway, so now there's more parties. There's like they go to this house, the party at Lawrence Taylor's house, and Beeman's talking shit all over. He's talking shit all over the goddamn place. Like, oh, the defense sucks, man. And he's like, you better be careful. You're at Lawrence Taylor's house. I don't give a fuck about that.
Can we talk about, before we talk about all of this, the weird scene with the what do you do for Dick guy, where he's at home and he's got all these little kids, and then his wife is pregnant, and
what?
This happened right before they went into the scene, because then
I don't remember that at all. Must have been writing notes. So
he's watching the interview with Jamie Foxx, and the wife is in there, and she's pregnant, and there's all these little girls running around, and he's like, "Why did I get married?" And then the next scene is him pulling up on a motorcycle to this house party with a chick with hair rollers in that he whisks away on the back of the motorcycle, takes her off the motorcycle, and then we see Jamie Foxx's character pull up in a yellow car, and he shakes his shark keychain and gets out, and then he starts talking shit to everybody at the party.
Okay, why was that all stuff we needed to talk about that you just explained exactly what happened on screen?
Because it was a weird,
It was weird. And then he bones some chick on a table right after the Willie Beeman talking shit part. Yeah,
it's just he's just inserted into these and we know he has a family. Shut up! We know he has a family, and then he shows up at a party with a hooker, and then he bones a hooker on a table that's got the chips and dip on it, and it's weird. It's
he's double dipping.
Yeah, he was like, I wanted some chips, so I figured I'd fuck this prostitute right next to the chip and dip so I could get my fill before you fuckers ate all of it.
Nothing's hotter than sticking your partner's hair in clam dip. Just getting her just really clammy.
You just eat chips and dip over the top of you're thrusting and munching, and all the crumbs and drippings go on her face.
It's good.
He was such a considerate lover. He actually fed me potato chips once in a while. You know why we were doing it. You want one?
If she's like, you're getting chips and dip all over my face, you just stop and lick it off and then keep going for more.
Thank God it's not hot dip like queso.
Yeah, the fondue parties get really interesting.
She just took a little smoky in the eye.
Fell off the stick. Sorry.
You know, I'm guessing that NFL players or professional football players don't serve little smokies at their... That's our level, not their level. Okay, they probably have better hors d'oeuvres than that. Hors d'oeuvres. Okay. So B-Man's talking shit all over. He says the defense sucks and blah, blah, blah. And then he says that LL Cool J sucks. And LL Cool J's like, I'm going to beat your ass. And then they get broken up. And he's like, shit, I'm better than everybody. B-Man is, like, the point is, B-Man is talking a lot of shit for having only started 2 games.
2 games.
2 games.
Well, and they also show him, like, being on the cover of Sports Illustrated and all these Time magazine. Like, he's the hot shit is what you're supposed to get out of this. And I'm like, 2 games, really?
2 games.
That's all it
One
fucking
of them they
takes.
barely won.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then he goes over to the coach's house, and coach is like, hey, you know, I don't know. I'm not much of a cook, but, you know, I don't know what you normally like, but I figured jambalaya would be appropriate.
Well, I thought
so fucking racist.
I didn't get that out of this. I thought that what he was saying was the only thing I know how to make is jambalaya. And he seems like he's enjoying his own jambalaya, but Jamie Foxx is like, this is gross.
It's because he got it from a rice roti box and he chopped up some sausages and threw it in.
Figured you might like this, you know, on account of, well, you know.
You grew up in the hood in Dallas, did he say?
Yeah, in Dallas. Yeah, Dallas.
Not Louisiana, you know.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, that's... Like, why don't you just fix him some tacos? Because he's from Texas. Or a steak. We don't go that way racially. Like, I'm from Idaho. If somebody were to give me an Idaho potato, I'd probably be like, fucking sweet, these things are expensive where we're at. But
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for her to hang herself here, Sam. She hasn't done it this episode, so I figured this would be the perfect time for her to hang herself.
No, I'm not
seems
going
like
to, because it's just so fucked up. Like, we automatically go to jambalaya. Black people like jambalaya.
Right.
But he's not anywhere from, like, Louisiana.
No, I get it. I get it.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
I get it. I was just surprised.
And he's got a
your
huge pot of it. Like, how many people do you think you're feeding?
Your mouth is just dodging its own racist bullets, Jackie. You're like, today you're Neo of you saying your own racist shit. It's just you're setting yourself up and you're like, zoom, they fly right past you. I'm very surprised.
Well, you know, I'm not planning. I'm not a perfect person. I know I've had to apologize on this podcast more than once for some of my comments. And it's not that I'm a bad person, because I'm not. I just say stupid shit sometimes. And because I don't know any better. And then I'm like, oh. And then somebody calls me on it. And I'm like, oh, damn it. That's probably true. I should apologize. And I do.
Okay, you're great. All right. So he tells Jack that, or he's told that Jack is going to start in the playoffs. Like, yeah, you've only started 2 games. What did you think this was going to be? I've got a 38, possibly 39-year-old man sitting over there. He knows how to do it. He's going to start in the playoffs. And he, like, fucking tells Al Pacino to go fuck himself. And it's like, hey, buddy, if that offensive coordinator wasn't your boss, well, I am, right?
Yeah. It doesn't seem like he knows the politics of his position. He's griping about all these mistakes that he's made. And it's like, you have done a lot of bad decisions and you're in the middle of a bad decision right now.
Yeah. And then it's all spliced up next to Ben-Hur as well. What the hell's that all about?
Well, like the chariot race when they first started the conversation. Okay. And then at the end of the conversation, it's the rowboat scene.
So it's all about slavery. And the third juxtaposition here is the Jim Rome type guy that he's on there. And he's speaking kind of directly about how misrepresented the African-American people are in the NFL.
And that has to do with Ben-Hur, huh?
Ben-Hur was a slave in one of the scenes. That's the direct connotation that is trying to be visually, that's where he's going with that.
Not the couple of guys that got ran over by horses and chariots. Was that any kind of representation or?
Yeah.
They were talking about gladiators from before, and then it leads directly from football to this commentary on slavery, which will continue for a few more scenes after this. But this is the last scene we watch, I think.
It is. That's where we're at. That's our stopping point for episode 1. I got a question. Even though, most of our stuff is going to be answered later. But this is a prediction question. This is our estimation. Because, Sam's seen this 8 times, so he probably already has a pretty big idea. But
I've seen it like 4 times.
Oh, my God.
I didn't figure out how many games were in the season until just now.
Okay, well, we're going to start with me. I'm going to answer my own question first, and then you guys go, so you don't tape my answer, because I've only seen this once, because I wanted to throw a shoe at the goddamn movie theater. What is the moral of the story? What is Oliver Stone trying to say?
Oh, that's what I have written down here is that the main question, that the last one was the carryover to next week is what is he trying to say? Because that's unclear at this point for sure.
Yeah, I think he's trying to say that...
You should wait till next week on this one, trust me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, to be continued on my question. I'll just... So we don't have any questions? We're not going to ask any questions.
I do have a question.
Okay, ask me a question.
How much money do you think Metrics gave this movie?
MedRx
or whatever.
MedRx.
At least $100,000.
It's a thing, isn't it?
I would think a couple million.
Yeah, I would think a couple million.
That's real, right? I'm not getting snowballed by Oliver Stone, am I?
What's MedRx? Metrics.
It's a health bar like Quest or...
Power Bar?
Yeah, it's...
They make a full line. They have like whey protein and shit like that. It's all supplement bullshit.
So stuff I am totally not interested in.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, all right. That's why I don't know.
So is he going to find out later that the hooker he's been banging up with is actually his illegitimate child?
Yeah, probably. I mean...
That was a really good short film made at the Sun Valley Film Festival years ago that was called The Mulligan, and that's what it was, as he went back to town to try to find this daughter, his son, because it's a boy's name. There's a hooker in town, and then the next day she comes to meet her dad because there was a letter, and then they're like, whoops! And then it just shows a guy hit a golf ball into the lake and turns around and goes, that's a mulligan!
Oh my God!
It was great. I was like, whoa, that is fucked up.
Okay, there's also Old Boy, but Old Boy didn't quite go that direction with its comedy.
Yeah.
That'd be quirky. I heard about some story recently. I mean, we got a couple minutes to fill here. That recently these two people had been married for like fucking 10 years or something. And they took one of 23andMe, and it turns out that they were separated at birth, brother and sister.
Adopted, I heard about that.
Yeah, not good.
No!
It's so gross it scares the dogs. Fucking dogs, man. Yeah, not good. I mean, not good stuff. So, okay, I'm going to move on. Leave everybody with that. And I've got a You're Wrong Idiot.
Okay.
You remember a couple episodes ago where we did Perfect, and we all asked, who is Mary Lou Henner? Why is she a thing? Well, duh. She was in fucking Taxi.
Oh.
Everybody was in Taxi. Like,
Everybody
the
was
whole
in
cast
Taxi.
went on to do things. That's where Mary Lou Henner's from. Okay, so wanted to clear that up real quick. Got some listener feedback as well. This comes from a new listener that we haven't heard from, I don't think. Christian S.
Hi, Christian.
He says, dear guys, I'm a huge fan of the show, and I'm always... Man, those dogs just won't shut up, Jackie. Tell them to shut up.
Well, I did, but they're looking out the window, and obviously there's some kind of critter out there that they're like, whoa, look at the critter. I swear to God, like, our podcast is just becoming, at the end, me seeing a critter or the dog seeing a critter at the end of this podcast.
Okay, Christian says, dear guys, I'm a huge fan of the show, and I'm always looking forward to Tuesdays since I'm on board. I'm listening to your fine bullshit while working, while jogging, sometimes even while going to sleep. Not during sex, though. There's got to be some red lines. I'm told.
Sam's voice.
he has a frowny face after all that.
I don't want to listen to this and when having sex.
I mean,
no, could you imagine like thrusting in and then being like, ha 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 ha, and then your partner's like, what the fuck are you laughing at? Because you've got your headphones in.
It's a weird fivesome that you would have, unless maybe if you're doing it by yourself, that's just a foursome.
Yeah, that's true. Use your left hand; it'll be like it's a stranger.
Yeah, feel your genitals while listening to us. It's fine. You have permission from us. Okay. He says, I have a request. I'd love to hear you talk about the Roger Corman produced Planet of Terror from around 1980, I think. It's a total sleaze fest with production designed by some kid named Jims Cameron. I bet even Jackie would love this, although it's a little spaceshipy in the beginning. Have a great week, and again, thank you so much for the show. Yours sincerely, Christian S. So here's the thing. That's a good point, because we have all seen Planet Terror.
I've seen Planet Terror twice.
And I think we watched it right before we started doing the show. Yeah. So we were pretty fresh on it, but I think he's got a good point. That is one that is in our wheelhouse.
I don't remember this movie at all. I feel like that's one of the more...
It's got, Robert Englund in it too, right?
Yeah, I think Robert Englund stops by. It's not the one, so there's two. There's the one with Sybil Danning and that you don't like, Sam. The Star Wars knockoff.
The one with, what's-his-face, John Boy Walton.
Yeah.
I like that one because it's got the, I was born in space.
This is the one with the shitty Luke Skywalker curly-haired dude, Planet Terror, and fucking C-3PO's in it. And then
No. That's the one
Galaxy
with Hasselhoff. Planet Terror is the one with Robert Englund, and it's the little spaceshipy at the beginning, and they get to like a planet, and there's like a glowing orb deal.
So it is the one with Sybil Danning?
I don't remember anybody but Robert Englund being in this one.
Okay, I'm going to put Planet Terror on the watch list, and we might pull the trigger on doing an episode on it, because I remember that I liked it. I know that much, at least. So
I've never pulled the trigger on Planet Terror, because I think that out of all of those, it's definitely the best one as far as, like, this is almost a solid movie.
All right, well, there you go. Thanks for the email. You can email us if you want to weigh in, talkingstinkerbandits.com, or... the socials, even though Twitter might not be a thing here in a week, facebook.com/StinkerBandits.
And, like, for me, because I like the likes, that's cool. But if you actually write something down on the Facebook, then I see it.
True.
Except for
That's how social media works, Jackie.
Except
Good
for
job.
this time, I didn't see Christian's...
because it's an email.
Because it's an email. Okay.
My favorite method.
Yeah.
Because I only see the Facebook ones.
Right. Okay, good job. We're going to stop this podcast right now. I hope you guys have a great week. Tune in next week for the finale of Any Given Sunday.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Enjoy your turkeys. Your Native American abuse day, I guess. Yeah, we're going to kill you later. Thanks for the turkey day. Okay, bye.